Yo, it's Two-Side Anime here, and I want to do another deep dive into the Naruto franchise, but more so regarding Boruto as an MC or Boruto as a character, and just take a look at his character growth. Everybody knows the Boruto series gets a lot of mixed reactions from the OG fans and the new fans, and people that tune in from time to time but don't really care about the series that much. But unfortunately, the hate is always louder than the actual good that takes place in the series. But you'll have people still making claims that Boruto's a spoiled brat, like we're stuck in 2017, even though he never really was a spoiled brat when you actually look at his character. But you get what I'm trying to say. As an honest fan, I don't think this series is perfect. The series has its own flaws and issues that sometimes I don't agree with, and that's okay. You're not supposed to like everything in one of your favorite series, right? I don't think there's a single new gen series that is flawless in any way. Take that back. There's one series that I think that is pretty flawless if you look past the fan service, and it's Fire Force. I love that series. I finished it from start to finish, and I'm eventually going to start covering it on this channel too. But out of all the new gen, that's the only one I can think of. Jujutsu Kaisen has its flaws. Black Clover has its flaws. Even My Hero has its flaws. So like I said, I feel like hating on the Boruto series is more of a popularity contest because you can get clout off doing it. Enough of the soapbox and back to the main topic. One of the claims that I always hear that I definitely don't agree with, and I'm trying to be as honest as possible, is that Boruto isn't a well-written character, or he doesn't have much character development within his own series. Today we're going to do something fun, and I'm going to take 4 characters from Naruto Part 1, 4 well-written characters from Naruto Part 1, and compare their character development next to Boruto's character development. We're going to use these 4 characters as a baseline to remove the bias lens that people view Boruto's character through. It's kind of like Little Caesar's pizza. It's good when you don't have a girl in your ear telling you how nasty it is. But we move. It was hard choosing these 4 characters because Naruto Part 1 had a lot of well-written characters within the manga and also in the filler anime. But don't cook me. I chose Rock Lee, Neji, Naruto, and Sasuke. Naruto and Sasuke is a given because they're the heavy hitters of the series, the MC and the third antagonist. Rock Lee, he's on this list because so many delusional people believe he was the actual MC of the series and he represented the theme of the series, Naruto, the best. I don't know what they're talking about. But at the end of the day, Rock Lee will always be known as a well-written character within Part 1. Neji as well. Neji didn't have many moments, but his dynamic with Hinata, his clan drama, and him opposing Naruto's goal as becoming the Hokage matched pretty well in Part 1. And I'm only basing this on Part 1 Naruto compared to Part 1 Boruto because the time skip isn't finished for Boruto, so it's not fair to start throwing Boruto time skip involved with the Part 1 development. Even though at this rate, what we're seeing, my son's gonna move mountains. But let me cook. I completely forgot about Gaara, so no, we're gonna have to make it 5 characters because Gaara moved mountains in Part 1. I'm not gonna lie. He was a direct parallel to Sasuke and also the opposite of what Naruto was. So let's dive in. Pause. We're going to start with Rock Lee because Rock Lee is going to be the easiest, and next Neji, and then we're going to move on to Gaara, Naruto, and my all-time favorite, the GOAT, the living legend himself, Sasuke Uchiha. Love that guy, bro. How I'm going to break down this video, I'm going to start with a brief introduction or overview of the character in Part 1, and also I'm going to double back and then go over the key points of character development within the series of Part 1. Then I'm gonna do the same thing with Boruto. Let's dive in and start with Rock Lee. Rock Lee was introduced as a ninja that couldn't use ninjutsu. He can only use taijutsu, and he became an expert at it because of his sheer hard work. His motto was that hard work will beat talent. Rock Lee didn't allow his shortcomings as a ninja to stop him from training and becoming a hardworking shinobi. This attracted Guy Sensei, the sensei that believed in the spirit of the youth, and he saw it within Rock Lee. Rock Lee constantly pushed himself, and that allowed him to become one of the strongest characters of Part 1 Naruto. We are introduced to Rock Lee in Chapter 36. It stops the kick between Sasuke and one of the shinobi holding the tuning exams. From there, he introduces himself to Sakura, he gets rejected, and then he waits back and challenges Sasuke to a fight. Rock Lee and Sasuke begin their fight, and Rock Lee proves that he has that dog in him and defeats Sasuke with ease. But the fight was interrupted by Guy Sensei. And then, at that moment, we were introduced to their loving student-sensei relationship. Furthermore, Naruto quickly noticed the bruises on Rock Lee's fist in Chapter 37 and said that Rock Lee probably goes under a lot of special training to get to that level of speed. And Naruto's observation comes full circle in the next stage of the Chunin exams, where they had to face off against the other Chunin exams participants in death matches. We're going to skip over the part where Rock Lee tries to save Sakura from the sound ninjas because I really don't think that's important to his character. Chapter 82, we see Guy Sensei yelling out to Rock Lee and saying, "You can take them off, Lee." And Rock Lee pauses and tells Guy Sensei, "I thought you said I'm only allowed to take these off to protect the ones I love and that are precious to me." And Guy Sensei said, "No, it's okay. You can do it." Rock Lee takes off the weights, which everybody thought were just simple weights, and then they hit the ground and explode, and everybody realized the amount of training that Rock Lee was going. In that moment, Rock Lee was able to injure Gaara for the first time in Gaara's life, hammering in Rock Lee's theme that hard work beats talent. After beating Gaara senseless, Gaara started to gain the upper hand on Rock Lee, and then we're given a flashback of Rock Lee's journey. Chapter 84, we see Rock Lee doubting himself as a ninja because he keeps failing at the missions, and Guy Sensei reassured him that he's actually a genius of hard work, and how Rock Lee reminds him so much of himself when he was younger. Guy Sensei was also viewed as a complete failure. Taking back to chapter 85 all the way to 86, we see Rock Lee shown to be true to his shinobi path. In his words, "I want to prove that even a person who can't use ninjutsu or genjutsu can still become a splendid ninja. It's my only goal, my ninja way." Rock Lee is shown to go into the gates. He finally gets the upper hand on Gaara, but in the midst of the battle, his body spasms due to the sheer pain that he's feeling while being in the gates. Gave Gaara the opportunity to crush both Rock Lee's arm and leg. Even after being beaten senseless, Rock Lee was still able to stand. Guy Sensei intervenes and saves Rock Lee's life. This act of love, Gaara couldn't understand, so Gaara left Rock Lee alone. During the rest of the Chunin exams, Rock Lee had to sit on the sidelines and watch his rivals, Naruto and Sasuke, live out his dream. And he started to question his ninja way, that hard work beats talent. After seeing Sasuke master his movements better than him within a month, Rock Lee realized maybe talent does beat hard work. This issue became the main conflict of Rock Lee's character until he got the surgery from Lady Tsunade. After he got his surgery, he entered the battle of the Sasuke retrieval arc, teamed up with Gaara, and he showed that he harbored no hard feelings towards him, and they worked together to defeat Kimimaro. Let's move on to Rock Lee's teammate, Neji Hyuga. Introduced to a cold callous Neji in chapter 78 of Naruto Part 1. He's set to fight Hinata, and instead of fighting Hinata, he basically just rips on her and tells her how she's weak, she's not fit to be a ninja, etc. And it got to a point that Naruto had to intervene, which gave Hinata the spark to fight Neji. Neji makes quick work of Hinata. Like, it was bad, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And then coming to the end, another key character moment of Neji's character that really caught everybody's attention. Neji said something along the lines on chapter 80 that Hinata doesn't need to suffer anymore. Hinata counters and says, "No, brother Neji, it's you who is suffering because of the destiny of the main branch and the side branch of the Hyuga clan." And Neji loses it and goes after her and tries to kill her. Don't see Neji until the finals of the Chunin exams, where he faces off against Naruto. Here we are introduced to the Naruto franchise's biggest theme, which is fate versus destiny. Something that I covered on several videos on this channel. Naruto versus Neji was a special fight, only because of the hand-to-hand combat and watching Naruto push himself to his limit to defeat a foe like Neji. It was also the bars that were involved in this fight. And during this fight, Neji's whole situation and issue with the main branch was explored and explained in detail. Neji had a strong stance on destiny and fate. He believed everyone had predestined fate because he was born to the side branch family of the Hyuga clan. The side branch family is in servitude to the main branch family, something Neji experienced firsthand after his father was sacrificed to save the main branch leader, his brother Hashi. Cloud Village attempted to kidnap Hinata to get their hands on the Byakugan, and Hashi caught the perp and killed him. But the Leaf Village and the Cloud Village officially had a truce, so this would have caused another war. Cloud Village proposed that the Leaf Village sent them Hashi's dead body. This was the only way for the Leaf Village to avoid another war. This was a smart play by the Cloud Village because getting Hashi's body would have given them access to the Byakugan Byakugan. The plan was quickly foiled as Hashi's brother sacrificed himself. The side branch members have a curse mark on their forehead that destroys the Byakugan once their body dies. So him being the twin to Hashi, his body was sent to the Cloud Village, saving the Kekkei Genkai. Neji wasn't aware of this information, so his grudge towards the main branch family was displayed in his fight against Naruto while Hashi was watching. He dominated majority of the fight until coming to the end and Naruto defeated him. In chapter 104, page 19, Naruto says, "So shut up about destiny and inescapable fate. You shouldn't whine about such trivial stuff, cause unlike me, you're not a failure." The loss Neji suffered at the hands of Naruto completely changed the trajectory of his character and shattered his perspective on what life is. Neji's perspective of life was shattered even more when Hashi came forward and told him the truth about his father and bowed down and asked Neji to forgive him and to believe him. At this moment, Neji realized he has the ability to choose his own destiny and fate doesn't really matter. These were the key components of Neji Hyuga's character development in part 1 Naruto. So we're about to move on to the 3 characters that I believe are the heavy hitters when it comes to good character writing in Naruto part 1. We're going to start off with Gaara, then we're going to move on to Naruto and end it off with Sasuke, then explore Boruto. With these 3 characters, I'm going to do it kind of different. I'm just going to hit their plot points really quick because the story kind of revolved around these 3 when they were introduced. Arthur's character was affected before he was even born due to the economic circumstances of his village. To fix this issue, Raza and the elders of his village decided to create a weapon that can utilize the One Tails. This ultimately caused Gaara's premature, where his mother died, made a vow to love Gaara no matter what. Being born with the tail beast in his body, Gaara was ostracized by the village and was an outcast. He tried to interact with the other kids and other villagers. His sand would accidentally hurt people, but Gaara couldn't comprehend physical pain because his sand always protected him. Chapter 129 and 130 were introduced to the mental state of the young Gaara. Gaara was feeling a lot of emotional pain in his heart. He then explains this to Yashimaru. Yashimaru explains him that the only thing that can cure this pain is love, and told Gaara that he believes his older sister really loved him. Feeling inspired, Gaara grabs some ointment to give it to a child that he hurt earlier in that day with his sand. Kid slammed the door in his face and there was another assassination attempt on Gaara's life. Gaara ended up killing the Anbu Black Hawk. It was revealed that it was Yashimaru behind the mask. Gaara tried to find solace in the idea that it was Raza that sent Yashimaru to kill him. Yashimaru explains that he always hated Gaara because Gaara was the reason why his older sister was dead and that his mother didn't love him. This ultimately broke Gaara and created the monster that we saw in part 1 Naruto that took the vow to be selfish and only care for himself. With this mindset, he slowly became the super weapon that his father always dreamt of. We fast forward into the tuning exams where Gaara meets Sasuke for the first time. Gaara recognized the hatred in Sasuke's eyes and wanted to fight Sasuke from that very moment. At that point on, Gaara and his team went on to break different records in the tuning exams, and eventually he fought Rock Lee. Rock Lee was the first person to deal any physical damage to Gaara, and we saw the mental insanity of Gaara. Gaara never experienced true love, so when he saw Guy Sensei step in and stop him from killing Rock Lee, he had a mental breakdown and he left the arena. We don't see Gaara again until the finals of the tuning exam. Gaara and his siblings were informed of the plan of the Sound Village and the Sand Village combining their efforts to attack the Leaf. Gaara was supposed to transform into Shukaku in the middle of the stadium during the tuning exam. The plan was quickly foiled because Sasuke made Gaara bleed with his Chidori, the first time Gaara ever felt pain. So when the attack started on the village, Gaara with his siblings left, but Sasuke pursued after them. Sasuke and Gaara continue to battle and Sasuke eventually succumbs to the pain of his curse mark. In that moment, Gaara attempts to attack him. Naruto enters the chat and Sakura enters the chat. Sakura stands in Gaara's way, and I like how Sakura represented the love that Gaara never had, because when he saw Sakura, he instantly envisioned Yashimaru. Only person that he ever felt love from, the only person he actually loved. Because of his father, that love was stripped away. Gaara continues to battle Naruto and ultimately loses to Naruto. With both fighters exhausted and laying on the floor, Naruto crawled to Gaara and started started to explain to Gaara how he understands the pain of being alone because they were both tail beasts exiled from their village. Naruto explained that he found people that he loved, which is the new Team 7, and he was no longer alone, and he will kill Gaara to protect him. Gaara was confused. Gaara's character revolved around being selfish. Naruto tells Gaara that he loves them and he will protect them no matter what. This took place on chapter 138, page 18. This comment reminded Gaara of the conversation that he had with Yashimaru. He says to himself, that's why he's so strong. Realizing that Naruto was fighting with love, and that love gave Naruto the power to defeat him. Gaara quits the fight and says, perhaps, maybe someday, and then he tells his siblings, I'm sorry. Gaara was a beautiful soul, born to an evil, selfish father, forced to be a Jinchuriki, causing the village to hate him, which ultimately created the loneliness and the pain that he felt in his heart. Facing his last heartbreak, Gaara made the vow that he will become a selfish individual and only live for himself and never trust anybody else. Gaara went on to becoming a relentless killing machine. During the Chunin exams, his mindset of selfishness was challenged throughout the whole arc, all the way up to his final battle with Naruto and Sasuke, and losing to Naruto, showing him that there is a possibility of love after heartbreak. We're moving on to Naruto Uzumaki. Right off the bat, we're introduced to Naruto as this foolish kid that goes around start causing problems throughout the village. Iruka sensei takes him out to ramen, and we get the decree from Naruto that he will become the greatest Hokage ever. But he still had to pass his exam to get into the academy. One of Orochimaru's henchmen convinces Naruto to steal a very important scroll full of jutsus. Naruto steals the scroll, whole village panics, everybody goes after him. Now, Orochimaru's henchman ambushes Naruto and tells him the truth about the Nine Tails being sealed within them. Knowing who to trust, Naruto runs away from Iruka. Naruto overhears Iruka and Orochimaru's henchman, and Iruka is giving Naruto praise on how he's an excellent student, how he knows what pain is, and that's why he has so much empathy. He's no longer the Nine Tails, he's a citizen of the Leaf Village. It was a major moment for Naruto's character. After hearing this, he was able to do his famous Shadow Clone Jutsu and ultimately defeated his opponent. And he also graduated and earned his headband. We move on to Naruto joining Team 7 with Sakura and Sasuke, his one-sided rival, and Kakashi Sensei. Naruto explained how he wanted to become the Hokage, and afterwards, Kakashi started their first test. The Bell test showed the lack of teamwork that Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke had. Naruto ended up being tied up to a tree, and Kakashi Sensei instructed the team not to feed Naruto. But Sasuke and Sakura refused because they needed Naruto to be in top shape. After they fed Naruto, they passed the test. Team 7 was sent off on their first mission, and the goal was to protect a bridge mate. Two assassins attacked, and Naruto was paralyzed with fear, and Sasuke had to intervene. Naruto stabbed himself and made the decree that he will never freeze up with fear ever again. This decree comes full circle in the Chunin exams. After defeating Zabuza, Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura continued their training in the forest. Naruto also met Haku, talked about their goals and how they wanted to protect the ones that are precious to him. Naruto was so exhausted that he was left back. He was late to the party of Zabuza and Haku versus Team 7. This fight, Sasuke dies protecting Naruto. Naruto releases the Nine Tails and defeats Haku. Haku tells Naruto to kill him. Before Naruto was able to land the killing blow, Haku sacrifices himself to save Zabuza against Kakashi's lightning blade. This leads us to a major component of Naruto's character growth in the Land of Waves arc. Zabuza acted like he didn't care that Haku sacrificed himself to him, and Naruto couldn't comprehend this. Naruto starts to break down and cry and yells at Zabuza. Chapter 32 was so important because Naruto had seen what the life of a shinobi really is. Shinobis were treated as tools, children of war. Naruto refused to accept that, and he continued to yell at Zabuza and asked him, "Are you truly this heartless?" Questioning Zabuza, is his heartlessness a root cause from his power? Scaring Naruto, the person that wants to become powerful enough to be the next Hokage. Throughout all the yelling, Zabuza breaks down and cries, showing that he did care about Haku, and he went off to kill the man who hired him to kill the bridge maker. Chapter 33, Naruto and the rest of Team 7 stood over Zabuza and Haku's grave. Kakashi explained how shinobi are tools, and Naruto said, "That's it, I've made up my mind. I'm going to create my own ninja path, my own destiny." Shocking Kakashi. That was pretty much the end of the Land of Waves arc, and then we move on to the Chunin exams arc. There's a very underrated moment for Naruto's character during the Chunin exams arc that a lot of people don't talk about, and this took place when they were taking the test that they were supposed to all be cheating on. The 10th and final question was presented. The Genins were given the opportunity to forfeit, and Naruto slammed down on the desk and said he will not forfeit and he will not give up. This inspired the rest of the Genin to continue on with the test, just showing you Naruto's ability to be a natural leader. Let's not forget the Forest of Death, when Naruto killed the giant snake and reunited with Team 7 to face off against Orochimaru. He was able to tap into the Nine Tails, giving him the strength to kill Orochimaru's summoning, and taunted Sasuke for cowering out in the fight. We make it to the semifinals of the Chunin exams, where Naruto defeats Kiba, showing you his resolve. Naruto also made a vow to defeat Neji in the Chunin exam. Fast forward into the month of training with Jiraiya Sensei, Naruto ends up in the hospital, and with the help of Shikamaru, they were able to stop Gaara from killing Rock Lee. Gaara tells Naruto his childhood story. Naruto realized him and Gaara had a similar upbringing. Ends up being more important when they finally face off at the end of the Chunin exams. Before we get there, we have the biggest display of Naruto's character growth when he went against Neji Hyuga in the finals. He basically expressed how Naruto was a failure. He expressed his ideals about fate. He explained how everything's predestined. For example, Neji said Naruto wants to be the Hokage. The Hokage of the past were destined to become the Hokage. A failure like Naruto cannot change his fate. It was the biggest hurdle for Naruto's character, because we know he wants to become the Hokage. To prove Neji wrong, Naruto taps into the Nine Tails and uses the powers to defeat Neji, earning the respect of the village that once shunned him. Konoha Crush is where Naruto's character shined the most. The curse mark inflicting pain on Sasuke and Sakura pinned to a tree. Gaara asks Naruto, "Who are they to you?" Naruto responds back with, "They're my friends. If you touch them, I'll slaughter you." Starting one of the most iconic battles in Part 1 Naruto. Naruto finally defeats Gaara and both characters land on the floor, able to move because of all the damage they sustained from their fight. Naruto crawls to Gaara, and this was the first time us as Naruto fans witnessed the Talk no Jutsu. Naruto explains to Gaara that he also had a painful upbringing. Being the nine-tailed fox, everybody in the village rejected him, but he didn't find happiness until he found his new family, Team 7. Naruto explains because of them, he doesn't feel alone anymore, and he will kill anybody that tries to hurt his newfound family. At this moment, Gaara realized Naruto's true strength and gave up on the fight and walked away with a brand new perspective. The search for Tsunade arc. Naruto meets another person / obstacle, challenged his dream of being a Hokage. Itachi physically and mentally broke Sasuke down. Naruto and Jiraiya continue their mission to find Lady Tsunade. They find Lady Tsunade and she disrespects the Hokage of the past. Naruto challenged her, declaring how he will become a Hokage one day and use the incomplete Rasengan. Lady Tsunade was impressed with Naruto's progress, so she made a bet with him. If he mastered the Rasengan in a week, will give him the first Hokage's necklace, and if he loses, she gets his wallet. Later on, Naruto and Jiraiya arrive on the scene, middle of the fight between Lady Tsunade and Kabuto. Kabuto used her phobia, which was blood, to weaken her. Naruto defeats Kabuto with a perfect Rasengan. But in the process, Kabuto was able to rip all the muscles around Naruto's heart, but Lady Tsunade was able to save him. She was inspired by Naruto, so she agreed to become the next Hokage, and at the end of the arc, she looks at Naruto and said that he will become a great Hokage one day, and gives him a kiss on the forehead. This finally takes us to the Sasuke retrieval arc. After being mentally broken by Itachi, Sasuke leaves the village to gain more power under Orochimaru. Tsunade puts her trust in Naruto and makes a deal for him to go rescue Sasuke. Each member of the recovery team fought one of the sound ninjas, and Naruto made it to the final valley. Naruto pleads with Sasuke for him to return home, but once Naruto realizes that Sasuke is fighting to kill, Naruto tapped into the Nine Tails, impressing Sasuke to the point that Sasuke finally acknowledged Naruto as his equal and put on his leaf headband to continue their fight. Eventually at the end, Naruto loses, Sasuke spares his life, and Naruto made another promise to Sakura to bring Sasuke back. And even when Jiraiya gave him the ultimatum to get the training and forget about Sasuke, Naruto, the man that never goes back on his word, says he's never given up on Sasuke. And that was the end of part 1 Naruto. That's it for Naruto, and I'm not gonna lie, part 1 Naruto holds a special place in my heart. Let's move on to the man, the myth, the legend, the sexiest person alive, bro. Sasuke Uchiha, the GOAT, the Avenger, to steal your girl. Sasuke walking down the street, Orochimaru turning his head. Child prodigy, son of Fugaku, Sasuke Uchiha. We were introduced to Sasuke as the sole remainder member of the Uchiha clan after his brother Itachi slaughtered the clan. Itachi told Sasuke to come find him once he has the Mangekyo Sharingan. Started Sasuke's lifelong journey as an Avenger. Sasuke grew up in the shadows of his older brother Itachi. His father wanted Sasuke to be another prodigy in the family, loved his older brother and held him in a high regard. So the betrayal that he felt after he witnessed his brother kill his family, this event destroyed Sasuke's mental health. Sasuke is introduced at the beginning of the Land of Waves arc. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. There are plenty of things I hate, but I don't see that it matters considering there is almost nothing I do like. It seems pointless to talk about dreams. That's just a word. But what I do have is determination. I plan to restore my clan, and there's someone I've sworn to kill. This was Sasuke's declaration as an Avenger. After failing the start of Kakashi's test, Sasuke decided it was the best interest of the team to feed Naruto so they'll be able to work together to take down Kakashi. Through those actions, they were able to pass Kakashi's test. Naruto and Sasuke's rivalry started when the demon brothers attacked, and Sasuke had to jump in and save Naruto because Naruto was paralyzed by fear. Sasuke declared that Naruto was a scary cat. The next moment of Sasuke's character growth was during the fight between Haku, Sasuke, and Zabuza and Kakashi. Naruto mistakenly joined Sasuke within Haku's ice prison. After Sasuke awakened his Sharingan and was able to dodge Haku's attacks, Haku focused on killing Naruto. At this moment, Sasuke threw away his dreams of an Avenger and jumped in front of Naruto and saved his life. Panel in chapter 27, you see Sasuke start to have flashbacks of every moment that he's shared with Naruto since they joined the team. Sasuke looks at Naruto and says, "I used to hate you." And Naruto's like, "Why did you save me?" And Sasuke was like, "I don't know. My body just moved on its own." Showing us the bond that Sasuke developed with Team 7. We move on to the Chunin exam. Another great moment was when Sasuke was humbled by Rock Lee. He faced off against Rock Lee and lost the fight, but Sasuke used this as motivation to get stronger for the Chunin exam. There we move into the Forest of Death, Sasuke versus Orochimaru. Sasuke developed a password that he knew Naruto would forget, so when Naruto was able to recite it, Sasuke immediately knew that wasn't Naruto. Orochimaru appears and Sasuke and Sakura were overwhelmed and Naruto entered the fight. Sasuke was ready to surrender and give the scroll to Orochimaru until Naruto made fun of him the same way Sasuke made fun of Naruto in the Land of Waves arc. This motivated Sasuke to continue on his fight with Orochimaru, which ultimately ended with Sasuke getting the curse mark on his neck. And we know the curse mark played a major role into all the bad decisions that Sasuke made coming to the end of part 1 Naruto. Point on, there wasn't really much character development within Sasuke. Yes, we seen him use the curse mark ability to protect Sakura, but that was pretty much it. He won his semi-final match, was set to fight Gaara in the finals of the Chunin exam. Kakashi decides to train Sasuke and teach him the Chidori, help Sasuke master Rock Lee's movements and speed. During this training arc, Gaara sneaks up on Sasuke and basically tells Sasuke that they have the same eyes. Their eyes are filled with hatred. Hatred that Sasuke has in his eyes is towards his brother Itachi for killing his family. Just remember that I said Gaara was a parallel to Sasuke, and this doesn't come full circle until Naruto Shippuden, where we see Sasuke and Gaara face off in the 5 Kage Summit, where their faces are placed together and you're looking at both their eyes. Gaara starts to cry because he realized Sasuke is still filled with that hatred, but Gaara found love and happiness. Kishimoto's the GOAT, bro. Back to the tuning exams. Sasuke lands the Chidori on Gaara. Gaara loses his mind, and that leads us to the Konoha Crush arc. Chapter 128, the fight between Gaara and Sasuke continues because Sasuke pursued Gaara outside of the village. Gaara says, "Cause you're naive and your hatred is not strong enough. The strength of one's hatred is the strength of one's will to kill, and the strength of one's will to kill is the strength of vengeance." Sasuke sits there and soaks in this information and thinks of Itachi. Gaara continues and says, "Your hatred will never match mine," sparking something within Sasuke. Sasuke used the curse mark to release another Chidori, injuring Gaara. We move on to chapter 133, where Sasuke regains some of his strength and tells Naruto to rescue Sakura and leave because he wants to sacrifice himself to save his friends, disregarding his mission to get revenge on his brother Itachi. Sasuke says, "I've already lost everything once before, and I don't ever want to watch my precious comrades die in front of me again." This sparks something within Naruto, because you see a flashback of Sasuke protecting Naruto and Sakura jumping in front of Gaara to protect Sasuke, showing you how much of a family Team 7 was. And the rest was history. Naruto defeated Gaara. Sasuke realized that Naruto overlapped him in power. He even got jealous when he saw Sakura staring at Naruto. After Sasuke informed Sakura, Naruto saved her. Next moment that we're about to discuss was the nail in the coffin for Sasuke's decision to go off for Orochimaru. Itachi returned to the village looking for Naruto Uzumaki. Sasuke finds out, locates Itachi. Sasuke attempts to defeat Itachi using the Chidori. Itachi embarrasses Sasuke, and the whole time Sasuke is getting beat up, his inner monologue is him basically telling himself how weak he was and how he hasn't made any progress, how nothing has changed. And to put the cherry on top, Itachi casts a genjutsu on Sasuke and makes him relive the slaughter of the Uchiha clan a million times until Sasuke fell into a coma. Boy Sasuke was sleeping all through the search for Tsunade arc and wakes up in the hospital to a Naruto and Sakura. Mentally broken Sasuke wakes up and wants to fight Naruto, where he disrespects Naruto to the fullest. But at the end, when Kakashi stopped their Chidori and their Rasengan from clashing, Sasuke saw that he was not the main character when he saw the hole that Naruto left. The nail in the coffin for Sasuke to make the decision to leave. The Sound Ninja 4 comes and meets Sasuke, and Sasuke eventually decides to finally leave the village. Sakura tries to stop him, but Sasuke tells Sakura thank you for everything and then leaves. Naruto goes after Sasuke with his own team, and eventually Naruto and Sasuke meets at Final Valley. You remember early on, Kakashi told Sasuke that when he gives into the curse mark, he's giving into his hatred. In the Final Valley fight, we see Sasuke giving into the curse mark, even to the point that he's fighting Naruto to kill him. In the battle, Sasuke finally acknowledged Naruto as his equal and puts on his headband, and at that very moment he awakened his third Tomo because he realized that he was going to have to kill his precious comrade, his best friend Naruto. Sasuke eventually wins this fight and spares Naruto's life, and he made a declaration that he will not kill his best friend. He will not walk down the same path as Itachi. He will walk down his own path. This is a key component to Sasuke's character moving forward in Naruto Shippuden. Woo! We're finally done with Neji, Rock Lee, Gaara, Naruto, and Sasuke. The key moments that made them well-written characters. Now we're moving on to the final part of this video, and we're going to discuss the key moments for Boruto as a character. See if Boruto, just like the other characters mentioned, develops his own ninja way, sacrificing himself selfishly, protecting the ones he loves, developing mental maturity, weathering the storm no matter what the obstacle is, and overall growing as a shinobi, just like Neji, Gaara, Naruto, Rock Lee, and Sasuke. Based on the manga, we were introduced to Boruto right before the events of the Momoshiki and Chunin exam arc. Before that arc, we had a lot of anime-only arcs, like the Academy arc, the Field Trip arc, the Sadara Uchiha arc. These arcs kind of revolved around the immature mindset that Boruto had at the beginning of the series. Sarada arc We saw Boruto come up with a plan, vandalize the Hokage's faces right before the 5 Kage summit. The reason why Boruto was acting out, because he wanted the attention of his father. Since Naruto became the Hokage of the Leaf Village, he started to neglect his family. He wasn't around as much as Boruto would love and like. Even Hinata and Himawari felt this void. This started the first misconception of Boruto's character, the spoiled brat. But really, all Boruto wanted was for Naruto to show interest in his family. Boruto forced Naruto to make him a promise that he will not miss Himawari's birthday. Boruto was used to Naruto not showing up for his birthday events, so he didn't want his sister to experience the same thing. Further showed that Boruto didn't have an interest in being a ninja was when Sarada and Mitsuki approached him for the application for the Chunin exams. This was step 1 for Sarada's dream of becoming the Hokage. Boruto blows him off and continues to play his video game. We fast forward into the Uzumaki household for Himawari's birthday celebration, but unfortunately the celebration was cut short because Naruto sent a shadow clone to his house instead of just walking there. Clone ultimately destroyed Himawari's birthday cake and Himawari almost cried. So being overprotective for his sister loses his temper and then runs out the house to go find his father. It says a lot of hurtful things about how Naruto should understand the importance of family because he was an orphan and he didn't have his family. So why is he neglect his current family? And Hinata started to cry. And Boruto was 100% right. The beginning of the Boruto series was to show you Boruto's issues with his father and why he didn't care to become a shinobi. Now we move on to the next point of Boruto's character development. Boruto runs out the house, headed to the Hokage office to beat up his dad. Runs into his father's rival, Sasuke Uchiha. Boruto wanted to become Sasuke's student so he can learn his father's weaknesses. Sasuke told Boruto he wouldn't take him as a student unless he comes back and learns the Rasengan. With the help of Konohamaru sensei, Boruto was able to create his own unique version, the Vanishing Rasengan, but the issue was Sasuke didn't really say anything when he performed it, so Boruto stormed off, showing us the lack of patience Boruto had as a shinobi. Boruto didn't care about teamwork. He runs into Kakashi, and Kakashi gives him a kote. This takes us to the start of the Chunin exams. Boruto didn't believe in teamwork, so he almost lost in the first stage of the Chunin exams, and then when it came to the second stage, protecting the flag, Boruto thought he didn't need help because he had shadow clones, but once he became outnumbered, he finally used the kote to cheat and release a combination attack on the assailants. The first 2 stages of the Chunin exams were so important for Boruto's characters because it shows the audience how Boruto wasn't a shinobi. He didn't believe in the principles and the moral values and codes that the shinobi established over all these years. Boruto cheating just showed you how selfish he was because he was risking Mitsuki and Sarada's goals. This takes us to the end of the Chunin exams when Boruto gets caught for using the kote and Naruto disqualified him and stripped him of the rank of ninja in front of the whole world. Chapter 5, Naruto tells Boruto, "You're not worthy of being a ninja and I'll lecture you later." Boruto lashes out, saying, "Later? You'll lecture me later? You sure you got time, Dad?" Boruto was expressing his frustration with his father not having time for him because, like Boruto said, if Naruto was playing a more active role in Boruto's life, he would have never had to cheat. Momoshiki and Kenshiki appear, wreaking havoc at the venue. It was another major moment for Boruto's character growth because during the conversation with Momoshiki and Naruto, chapter 5, page 32, Momoshiki says, "Well then, you understand how remarkable these are. With these pills, one can instantly, effortlessly, and easily acquire true power." Naruto calls them cowards for relying on doping, but in this moment you see Boruto looking at the kote, realizing he took the easy way out, that true power doesn't come from using scientific ninja tools, it comes from your resolve, something Boruto lacked. To watch his father go all out, release his true power to protect the village. This was the first time Boruto ever witnessed this, and afterwards Momoshiki captured Naruto. Naruto wakes up in the hospital after these events. His village destroyed, his father kidnapped, his mother barely alive. Boruto came to the fork in the road. While wearing his father's jacket, he realized how much of a loser he was for cheating in the Chunin exams, how much of his life he took for granted. Sasuke appears at the fork in the road like an avatar. and tells Boruto he's in a similar circumstance as his father was not too long ago. Boruto asks Sasuke, what would his dad do in a situation like this? Boruto choosing to walk down the path of the shinobi. Sasuke gives Boruto a prep talk and tells him that he's a strong shinobi. The real him is a strong shinobi. Before Boruto leaves to rescue his father, he puts on Sasuke's headband, signifying the passing down of the soul of the shinobi. Story short, Naruto and Sasuke give Momoshiki a generational, their final attempt to defeat Momoshiki. Naruto gives Boruto a giant Rasengan for him to use to finish off Momoshiki. At that moment, Boruto held it up and realized how heavy it was, and asked himself how much training did it take for his dad to get this strong. They make eye contact, Boruto cries, finally rectifying their relationship. Boruto then kills Momoshiki and receives the karma seal. Shiki tells Boruto that his blue eyes will take everything from him, and then disappears. Time we see Boruto, he's running with his dad. His dad is headed off to the Hokage office while Boruto is going on somewhat of a mission. They fist bump each other, showing you their bond has been reformed. Final part is very important to Boruto's character, because Boruto finally established his ninja way. After getting interviewed and saying being the shinobi takes teamwork and guts, but you need experience. On the Hokage rock, Boruto finally decided his ninja way. Page 35, chapter 10, Boruto tells Sadara, you're going to be Hokage, right? Then I'll be your right hand man and work hard to protect you. Being Hokage is just one track to me. Just cause granddad and dad were Hokage doesn't mean I gotta walk that path too. What I'm aiming for, Sadara, is to become a shinobi like your dad. I've got my own shinobi way. Before heading off to his mission, he looks at his karma seal and says, whether fate or a curse, go ahead and try intervening with my shinobi way. I never planned to be ordinary anyway. After all, I am a shinobi. Following arc, the Bandit arc, where Boruto's mission is to be an escort to the feudal lord of the land of fire, son Tento. Arc is important because we see Boruto's newly developed character in action. One important moment was when Tento tried to give Boruto the Sasuke card, a very rare card. The old Boruto would have taken that card without a second thought. In chapter 12 on page 18, Boruto states, no thanks on the card. I'm the type who has to get what he wants by his own strength, no matter how hard it is. Boruto continues to teach Tento how to throw a shuriken. Boruto realized Tento was just like him back when he wanted his father's recognition. Tento wanted to become a ninja so his father would recognize him. Boruto continues to train him, and eventually Tento hits a bullseye. Boruto tells him that if he keeps training, it will lead to something you can't buy even with a black card. Training and hard work will take you far, instead of taking the easy route. The black card for Tento was the same to the scientific ninja tool that Boruto used in the Chunin exams, so you see the parallel in this situation. The next part of the arc shows us a very important component of Boruto's character, and that is selflessness. Boruto is a selfless character. He puts everyone around him first. Boruto finds out Tento was captured, goes to Sarada and tells her he won't make their mission. I think it was their first A-rank mission, but he completely walked away from it to go protect Tento. Boruto said in his interview that being a shinobi takes guts and teamwork. Boruto arrives on the scene, face off against the bandit leader. It took the teamwork of Tento and Boruto to help Boruto get the upper hand on the leader. And at the end, Sarada and Miski arrived on the scene and landed the finishing blow. Boruto learned the lesson that teamwork is vital to be successful on a mission, because Boruto went to take care of this issue by himself, where he could have brought Sarada and Miski to help him out. Next arc was the AO arc that leads into the Kawaki arc. Team 7 is sent off on a mission to protect Kakaske and deliver a scientific ninja tool. Since Boruto has PTSD from the last time he used a scientific ninja tool, he rejected the idea, but still went on the mission. On the train, they meet Ao, a surviving shinobi from the 4th grade ninja war. Hearing Boruto's rant about scientific ninja tool, Ao grabbed the screwdriver and put it to Boruto's neck and told Boruto he could have died at that moment if he was Ao's enemy. Ao shows him the tool and says this isn't inherently good or evil, it depends on how you use it, no matter what it is. That's my opinion. This will play a major role in Boruto's character development in the future when it comes to using his karma seal. I have a video on that coming out soon, so stay tuned. Fast forward into the next fight, part 2 of Ao versus Team 7. In this fight, Boruto gets his 1v1 with Ao and outsmarts him and shows you his tactical skills as a shinobi. After defeating Ao, Boruto puts the screwdriver to his neck, signifying that he learned the lesson that Ao was trying to teach him. He also tells Ao to use his parts for good, reference exactly what Ao told him in the train. You can use those powers of yours for good. Ao saves Boruto, Kashinkoji kills Ao, Kashinkoji beats Team 7, Boruto finally uses karma for the first time, and then they stumble upon Kawaki, taking us to the start of the very long Kawaki arc. Kawaki arc was mainly surrounded around Kawaki's character growth. Boruto was in the background doing his thing, and most of the time it was the supporting role when it came to the character of Kawaki. We know the two brothers reconciled after Kawaki destroyed Himawari's face, and agreed to help each other out to figure out the truth of the karma seal. I'm gonna skip most of the Kawaki arc and hop into the new Team 7 rescue arc. Naruto the beatdown of his life and sealed him in a dimension which was guarded by Boro. I believe Anbu Black Ops came to the Uzumaki household and started to blame Kawaki for the disappearance of Naruto. Boruto displayed his newly found trust in Kawaki by defending him, letting Shikamaru know that Kawaki is a part of their family. The two put their karma seals together, made it to the dimension where Boro was holding Naruto captive. Outside of seeing Kawaki using his karma seal to amp up Boruto's Rasengan, not much really happened in this arc for Boruto's character development. It was still the same Boruto, and this arc really revolved around Sarada becoming the captain of the new Team 7. Then we move on to the Ishiki / Kawaki arc. You didn't notice a lot of these arcs revolved around Kawaki, so we move. Arc kicks off with Amando coming to the Leaf Village and seeking protection. The exchange of information on the Otsutsuki 6 of Boruto's next of generations, we learned the truth about the Karma Seal. The Karma Seal is a highly compressed data backup file for the Otsutsuki. Karma Seal is embedded on their victim. It will begin to extract the data of the Otsutsuki and eventually overwrite the data of the victim. Important to Boruto's character to learn that his fate to be overwritten by Momoshiki's data. In this moment, Boruto realized that he will no longer exist and Momoshiki will take his place, and there's absolutely nothing he can do about it. Conversation continues to unfold. Kawaki loses Karma Seal, and Ishiki arrives to the village. Naruto runs out the room to face Ishiki, and Boruto's left with Sasuke and his negative thoughts. Sasuke brings up what Sarada brought up in the hospital, saying that Boruto transformed into another being and destroyed Boro. Boruto acknowledges this information and says now he knows for a fact it was Momoshiki. The difference between Boruto Next Generations compared to Naruto Part 1 was Naruto Part 1 took place in a state of war, while Boruto is taking place in a time of peace. So sudden death in dangerous situations is pretty rare in Boruto's situation. Regardless, in this situation, Boruto shows us that he has grown as a shinobi. Chapter 49, page 16, Boruto says, "The thought of dying in battle scares me, but I'm still prepared for it. Like every other ninja." They grow up fast, man. Boruto tells Sasuke about his fear of Momoshiki taking over his body, and Sasuke tells Boruto that he will stop him if Momoshiki takes over, and he'll kill him. That's what he's prepared to do as Boruto's teacher. Boruto was shocked, scared, and confused in this situation because he just learned about the karma extraction, and now Ishiki, the strongest antagonist of the verse, has pulled up to the village, and Sasuke and Naruto don't have enough power to take this person down. Boruto is brought to another crossroad. He asks Sasuke for his headband and he puts it on, giving him the courage he needs to face Ishiki. Sasuke comes up with a plan with Boruto and they're able to teleport Ishiki out of the village to a different dimension. We need more of Boruto's character growth throughout this battle. Even though Boruto didn't have the power to help his father and his master Sasuke, he was able to make himself useful by saving Sasuke's life. Also figured out that Ishiki wouldn't kill him because he needed Boruto to feed to the Ten-Tails. So puts the kunai to his neck and threatens to hurt himself, showing us the selflessness and the pure guts that Boruto has. The trait to offer himself up to save the world. Ishiki calls Boruto's bluff, breaks his arm, breaks his back. Naruto goes to Baryon mode to shorten Ishiki's lifespan. Ishiki teleports Kawaki to the dimension, and Kawaki uses his shadow clone to defeat Ishiki once and for all. But Boruto's worst fear happened. Momoshiki took over Boruto's body and stabbed out Sasuke's Rinnegan. Through the combined efforts of Sasuke and Kawaki, Boruto was able to take control of his body. Chapter 58, Amado gives Naruto Otsutsuki type pills that can stop the karma extraction. Naruto takes these pills to Boruto, and Boruto instantly takes them, shocking Naruto. Boruto says that he's been preparing for the worst when it comes to karma. The anime did a great job showing Boruto dealing with his guilt for stabbing out his master's Rinnegan. Top of, at any moment, Boruto can turn into Momoshiki. That's why it was so easy for Boruto to take the pills. Events are taking place during the Code arc, the second to last arc of Boruto Next Generation. Change of events happened because Kawaki decided to erase his chakra and go meet Code. Boruto and Kawaki have been under heavy surveillance after the events of the Ishiki arc. Code catches up to Kawaki, beats him up, and gets ready to take him to meet Ida, but Boruto intervenes. Kawaki tells Boruto that he's basically about to sacrifice himself so Lord Seventh can live. You know Kawaki started doing that Lord Seventh stuff, and eventually Boruto knocks him out. Boruto tells Kawaki he understands how much Kawaki wants to protect his father, but it's Boruto's right to protect Kawaki. Showing us once again how selfish of a character Boruto is, and also showing you how Boruto prioritized bonds just like Naruto did. In part 1, battle between Code and Boruto leads to Boruto unleashing the true power of the Karma Seal and finally going to his V2 state. In the process, Momoshiki slipped out. This gave Momoshiki the opportunity to wreak havoc on the battlefield. When Momoshiki was in the process of killing Naruto, Kawaki unlocked his Karma Seal. This led to Momoshiki vs Kawaki, an epic battle that ended with Boruto regaining his consciousness. Boruto tells Kawaki, "I've come to realize today that we're going to have to go through with our last resort plan." Boruto looks at his dad and says, "I'm sorry, Dad. Give my best to Mom and Hima," and blasts his father away. Kawaki asks Boruto if he's ready. Boruto says yes. Do it. Kawaki spears through Boruto, killing him. This moment is crucial to Boruto's character development. Let me explain. Boruto understood that he'll have to sacrifice himself for the greater good to save the world, just like any shinobi that we saw in Naruto Part 1 or in Naruto Shippuden. Putting yourself last for the betterment of the future is the soul of the shinobi, something Boruto inherited from Sasuke and his father Naruto. The moment also backed up Boruto's ninja way. This to sacrifice yourself for the village, for your family, for your friends. This is all what being a shinobi is about, showing you how different of a character Boruto is now compared to his old self in chapter 1. To the action. Using karma, Momoshiki was able to heal Boruto and bring him back to life. Tells Boruto that he will never be able to do this again. Boruto thought that him dying was the prophecy that Momoshiki told him at the start of the series, but Momoshiki clarified nothing has changed and that prophecy is coming soon. After the events of the Code arc, the whole village finds out about Boruto's supposed death, and everyone was lied to about. Boruto was summoned to go on another mission, and he stopped by his crying mother Hinata that she doesn't have to worry, he will always come back home to her. Shikamaru explains to Kawaki and Boruto that they will be rooming with Ida and her little brother Damon, because we all know Ida's in love with Kawaki. The mission, Kawaki realized that Boruto was communicating with Momoshiki. An enraged Kawaki grabbed Boruto and stormed off from the mission ground. Kawaki seals Hinata and Naruto, and the beginning of the end starts for Boruto. After finding out that Kawaki sealed his parents, Boruto heads off to face off against Kawaki. Sarada intervenes, which resulted in Boruto's eye getting cut out. Kawaki escapes. Ida makes her way over to Kawaki. Using omnipotence for a second time, Ida switches Boruto and Kawaki's positions. Kawaki's desire of being the son of Lord Seven came true, and Boruto is now Gaara's cyborg that came to the village. Kawaki and Ida plot against Boruto and tell the higher-ups that Boruto killed Naruto and Hinata, placing a target on Boruto's head. Even with his back against the wall, Boruto kept the positive spirit in this situation, because when he was cornered by Ikacho, Momoshiki offered to take over Boruto's body and kill his friends. Boruto stayed true to his resolve and told Momoshiki no. After Sarada awakened her MS Sharingan, Sasuke saved Boruto. Boruto's cool and calm composure started to piss Momoshiki off, and Momoshiki started to lose his composure. He expected Boruto to crumble and fold in the situation, allowing him to finally get Boruto's body. But it was the complete opposite, and Momoshiki lost his temper. In chapter 80, page 28, Momoshiki says, "The damn brat, what crazy mental resolve he has." Following pages, Ida lands in front of Sasuke and Boruto, and she's surprised that Boruto isn't depressed. Boruto lets her know that he's totally crushed, but he says, "I can't stop thinking about him. The insecurity and the loneliness that I'm feeling right now, he's lived with this all his life, since he was a kid, the polar opposite of me. I thought I knew him pretty well. I guess it was pissing him off that even though I never knew hardship, I was acting like I understood." Doesn't sound familiar. This is exactly what Naruto went through when it came to understanding Sasuke. Kishimoto had to kill off Jiraiya sensei so Naruto would understand what losing a loved one feels like. This allowed Naruto to understand Sasuke better. The same thing is happening to Boruto in this moment. Sasuke tells Boruto that Naruto had nothing, but he became the Hokage, so prove to us that you're Naruto's son. Point in the story, Momoshiki and Boruto's minds are in sync. Momoshiki is talking to himself, saying that this was his opportunity to make Boruto give up on living so he can get his body. Boruto counters and tells Momoshiki giving him his body was never an option, and he doesn't consider this losing everything. He blames himself for Kawaki's actions, saying it's because of his weakness that pushed Kawaki to the extreme to seek out his own justice. He says, "I got flowing inside me the blood of my dad, the 7th Hokage, Naruto Uzumaki, my mom's Hyuga blood too, and my granddad was the 4th Hokage. And most important, I'm a Konoha Will of Fire ninja." And he ties on Sasuke's headband for more courage. Boruto makes it clear that he's not going to allow this situation to end up brother killing brother, but just a mere quarrel between siblings. That's what my dad would do. And in that moment, Sasuke sees Naruto within his son. Naruto leaves the village to continue his training with Sasuke and makes a promise that he will return. And that was the end of Boruto's story in part 1, Boruto Next Generation. And we're finally done. Finally! So let's talk about Boruto's character development. Boruto went through the stages of growing as a shinobi, maturing, figuring out his ninja way, becoming selfless, protecting his family, and loving and supporting his friends, to deal with the conflict and curse of Momoshiki's karma seal, and constantly worrying about when Momoshiki is going to take over his body. But that never stopped Boruto from keep pushing forward like any other shinobi. Point that he even allowed his brother to kill himself, and instead of being bitter that his brother switched positions with him, he actually took accountability for being too weak to control Momoshiki, embarking on a brand new journey. So I know a lot of you guys are going to say, well, his story isn't as dark as Sasuke, Naruto, Neji, and Rock Lee, but you also have to remember there's a difference in times. Like I said earlier before, part 1 Naruto was stuck in war, part 1 Boruto was in the era of peace. As the story continues to unfold, Boruto's story will get darker and darker, like we're already seeing in 2 Blue Vortex. But I'm not saying that Boruto's story has to be dark for him to be a well-written character. To be a well-written character, we have to see a said character go through a lot of development, trials and tribulations, and growth on all sides. Sasuke was introduced as an Avenger, met Team 7, fell in love with his new family, and became conflicted with his goal of becoming an Avenger and killing Itachi, his newly found bonds with Team 7, ultimately losing himself to the darkness and joining Orochimaru. He started off as a nobody that everybody hated, but through his hard work, he was able to defeat Neji, gaining the recognition of the village, and then stopping Gaara from destroying the village. Led him to find Tsunade, the replacement Hokage, gaining her trust and respect, ultimately losing to Sasuke at the final valley fight, taking his L and vowing to return back to the village stronger. Gaara was made to become a war machine. Losing his hope and faith in love and humanity, he became a killing machine. Through the process of meeting people like Rock Lee, Guy Sensei, and fighting Sasuke, and losing to Naruto, somebody that he viewed similar to him, he was able to realize that true power comes from love and bonds, changing the trajectory of his character. Neji was haunted by his side branch heritage, gave up on life in choosing his own decisions until he faced off against Naruto and learned a very important lesson about destiny, versus fate, and he finally became an uncaged bird. Boruto, a very immature child that wanted the love from his father, so he started to act out and rejected the way of the shinobi, cheating in the tuning exams, jeopardizing the future of his teammates Sarada and Misa. Realizing that he took his life for granted after his father was captured by aliens, went on a rescue mission, killed Momoshiki, inherited the will of the shinobi, the soul of the shinobi, learning that his fate would be that he would lose everything that he loves dear. That didn't stop him. He continued to be a positive role model to every person that he meets, training Tento and going on his own to save the kid. Encouraged after finding out the truth that he will no longer exist and Momoshiki will take over his body, saving the village from Ishiki, risking his life to save Kawaki from Ko. Boruto chose death over allowing Momoshiki to take over his body. And now he has lost everything. Friends, his family, his loved ones. Everything that he stood for was taken away from him because of Ida's omnipotence. Now he's balancing the fate of the world on his shoulders. If that isn't character development, then I don't know what is. But this was a long video. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm out.